been providing hospice since the early 1983, and we were one of the first Medicare certified hospices in the state of Maryland. Hospice is near and dear to our heart, and is truly our mission, and our goal at Stella is to reach out to those that are uninsured and underinsured and provide end-of-life care with dignity and compassion.
The journey has been pretty long. Initially, they thought that I had Lyme disease.
Okay.
And I had to go to a National Institute of Health. And I was down there for about 4 or 5 months, and then after they worked that off, they found out that I had, I had ALH, which is that disease. And ever since then, I've been trying to basically extend my life.
Yes.
Aquatherapy, whatever it is, and a lot of pills and things like that.
Okay.
And I checked into this facility at some point my muscles just aren't working.
Okay.
And my muscles just will not work. So I was having a hard time going to the bathroom and lifting things, and physically I wasn't making it. It was very, very difficult. So I checked in here under the hospice program, and I got the basically at that point they left me here to get my strength back.
Okay.
And I was able to get my strength back. And under respite, which is a 5-day program for a month, I stayed, and then I went home.
Okay.
And I came back this past Friday.
Okay.
And I've been back here ever since.
Okay.
But with hospice, I mean, you know that you're just trying to get some comfort.
Yes.
And they give you some pain medication.
Okay.
And you get the care for the bathroom, coming out in the shower, and things that you just can't do anymore.
Okay.
Your muscles just completely collapse. And it's a very debilitating and tough disease.
Okay.
And that now, now my family comes up and they bring me food, they walk me outside and things like that. But this is pretty much my home now.
Okay.
And that's where I'm going to be.
Okay. Have you experienced like a compassion and from the staffing who work here?
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so. They're very kind people.
Okay.
I can't tell you enough. I mean, they try to cheer you up, but they know that this is a fatal disease.
Okay.
But they're there for you, and very good. They understand.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
That's part of it.
Yes.
So any help they give you is well regarded.
Okay.
They give you a lot of help. Believe me.
Our goals are going to be different, so we're not going to suggest treatments that are going to hurt you or going to make you sick. We're going to try to take what you have left, whatever amount of time you have left, and try to make it better for you. We're going to try to handle your pain. We're going to try to manage your pain. We're going to try to manage your nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or constipation. We're going to try to manage your breathing so that you're more comfortable, so that whatever time you have left, you're able to spend that with your loved ones, or doing what, if it's sitting in a window watching your bird feeder. If that's what your goal is, we want to help you reach your goal. Or, one person's goal was to go to the ocean again, and we were able to help them do that.
We're going to take care of anyone, no matter what. You know, people aren't going to be turned away if they need care. And I think that's especially important at end of life. You know, it's a time where people are at their most vulnerable. And, you know, they are trusting us at their most vulnerable time in a very intimate way.
Hospice for me is a healing of the physical and the emotional and the spiritual that cannot be cured but can be healed at another level.
Seem to be able to move through the grief, not quickly, because that's not, everyone has to move at their own pace, but it seems like their faith is the thing that's holding them up as they're moving through the grief.
He had AIDS, and he was quite bitter and angry. He never wanted to talk about spiritual things, and he really had burned a lot of bridges. He didn't have much family or friends to come as visitors. And then one night, the nurses heard him hollering, "He's alive, he's real, he's real." And when they ran down the hall, Sean was sitting bolt upright in bed. And he said that he had seen, quote unquote, God, and that God was real, and God had shown him heaven, and it was beautiful, nothing like here. So he wanted them to pray with him, which really shocked everybody, but the nurses prayed with him. And then I called their chaplain the next day and told her what had happened. So she came up and she told him the story of the prodigal son. And this is somebody who had a rough life. You know, he'd done drugs, he prostituted himself, and she told him that he had a loving Father in heaven, and he's reaching for you, and all you have to do is reach back. And I knew Sean was changing, but I didn't think he was at that point yet where he was actually actively dying. And about an hour later, I went to check, and he had gone. And he had the most peaceful expression on his face. And when you see things like that, it really stays with you.
That she was laid out on her bed, just like she had gone to sleep. And I think in her red satin pajamas, was all ready for the visits for the day, and just died very peacefully.
And as we're talking, within that few minutes, Grandma died very peacefully. I mean, even at the point that no one, you know, even looking, there was no changes. She just very peacefully left.
We have a little booklet that we use called, by Barbara Carnes, it's called Gone From My Sight. And in the back, it really is about the dying process. It talks about, really the picture on the front is a sailboat, you know, going toward the horizon. And the gist of it is that even though the sailboat is gone from our sight, it is still there. It's just as big in mast and hull as it was when it carried its load of living fruit. Her diminished size, being a sailboat, is in me, not in her. And it talks about it going toward the horizon and disappearing from our sight. But at the other shore, when we are saying, you know, goodbye, when we're letting the sailboat go and our loved one go, the sailboat's gone from our sight, there are people on the distant shore. And when we say she's gone from our sight, they're actually saying, here she comes.